I think one of the key things in choice of currency is who your off-taker is. So here we're talking traders, which is mainly supplying mines, who are dollar earners, and so their dollars should be the choice of currency for sure. And I agree, I wouldn't support a Quadra PPA against mines, especially since they're dollar earners. However, when you move to more supplying smaller industry, domestic users, etc., then you do need to consider local currency. So what's critical is who your buyer is and where they're earning their revenue. So someone like Zesco, they earn revenues in dollars and in local currency. So technically, some of the projects that they procure should be local currency, because otherwise they are taking too much risk around buying power in dollars, but selling part of that power in kwacha. I mean, key risk in Africa is T&C risk. So we see transfer and convertibility as a critical risk from an African context. So where your off-taker is a dollar earner, it's great, it should be in dollars, but where it's not, it's a big issue that we see crop up. So it can crop up in two ways. So if there's a mismatch, either the IPP, the generator, is taking the risk, or the off-taker is taking the risk. So where the generator is taking the risk, what we see is that they are unable sometimes to access enough US dollar to pay for their debt and their equity return, and equity returns then suffer greatly. There's a lot of markets in Africa where unfortunately this has happened. And then the other approach is if you're putting that risk on the utility, so utility is getting most of their revenue in local currency, but they are now paying dollars. What we see there is exchange rate depreciation. Suddenly they can't afford the power, and then you have payment issues. So it's very important, in my view, that you should understand where they're getting their revenues from and try and match it. Saying that, equity does want dollar returns. So I'm not necessarily promoting that we need to look at 100% local currency PPAs, because then for developing markets you may struggle to get international experienced equity involved, but you can structure it as indicated on a dual currency basis, so to reduce the risk for either the IPP and or the utility, depending on their revenue source.